brace yourself for this. As if things couldn't get bad enough in this country, apparently if a Labour government got to power, then deliberately misgendering someone and calling them the wrong pronouns could result in up to 2 years imprisonment under a Labour government. Simple messages: if you don't want that, don't vote Labour. Now, I'm sure I'm not alone in thinking this is a very dangerous development, a very dangerous way of going into things. How do you determine whether something is even a deliberate misgendering? What happens if you simply see someone say, "Hello, sir," or as in the case of a Christian preacher who referred to a transgender as a gentleman and undoubtedly didn't actually mean anything nasty by it, but was hauled into court over it? How do you determine that sort of thing? I do believe this is a very dangerous infringement on free speech, as we seem to be seeing a lot more on a daily basis in this country, particularly over the last 2 years, since this whole gendering, misgendering, pronouns and all that sort of thing came into effect. You only have to look at Sam Smith, for example, a musician who I always greatly admired, who seemed to have gone down off the beaten track when he repeatedly demands that people refer to him as they and them, and if he wants to see himself as a they, them, well, that's up to him, but why should everybody else have to adhere to the same thing? If you start to threaten people with imprisonment because they are not calling you by the correct pronouns, and you know that a good chunk of society doesn't agree with it in the first place, and there is a great deal of conflict surrounding this whole pronoun thing and women's rights, and often cases which are detrimental to women and dangerous to women, how in the world can you try and enforce this type of ideology backed up by the law, threats of imprisonment? This is not the kind of thing we expect to see in Britain. Why is it that in recent years all we are seeing these days are things that we do not expect to see in Britain? Why is it that our police force, who are not particularly effective in dealing with actual crime, seem to be very effective in dealing with this sort of woke rubbish? Why do we continuously see this? I can't say I'm a huge fan of the Conservatives right now, but my God, when I heard about this story, I thought to myself, I thought it couldn't get any worse, but it could. Labour, that could be much worse. I mean, does Keir Starmer even know what a woman is? So Labour say that they remain committed to transphobia, but what they don't seem to realise is that such a policy would be so dangerous to the actual values that Britain stands for, our freedom of speech continuously under threat, our freedom of expression continuously under threat. And now we find the Labour Party showing their true colours, showing everybody that not only are they perpetuating this woke ideology, but they are actually willing to use the force of the law, imprisonment, courts, in order to promote this ideology, something that very many people in the country are against. I think I speak for many people when I say that it is absolutely essential that the Labour Party does not get to power. Who could disagree with that? Well, leave your thoughts in the comment section below.
Have you got what it takes to be a reasoned presenter? Well, send us a short clip of yourself to join@reasoned.uk and we might be seeing you on this very channel very soon indeed.